Hi, everyone. Welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Polly Joe Labbe, here on our YouTube channel for the Trinity Temple of Sacred Wisdom. I'm so glad to have you guys here with me this evening. Um, oh, on this April Fool's Day. And I think everybody understands that the world around us might be foolish enough that we don't have to do pranks maybe today. I haven't heard of many. But this is where we are tonight. We're gathering together to reconnect with our soul, reconnect with our life purpose, and where we're meant to go and who we're meant to be, especially if any of that is not really clear right now. It's also a sacred container for you to do any healing work of your own, for you to release anything that's been getting in your way, any beliefs or thoughts or patterns that are just not serving you anymore. They can all be released when we do our meditation. And as always, we're open to having messages come through from my spiritual team, angels, guides, ancestors, divine beings, all divine, of the highest and fullest and brightest vibrations available to us. And any of your teams are present as well. And if you would like a message from them through the cards, all you have to do is type in yes, please. And tonight's deck is one I don't remember when I've used this one before. It's been a while. Magical Messages from the Fairies by Doreen Virtue. And I think the fairies are just calling. That's what I was sharing with Rob earlier. I'm like, they just want spring here already. The magic of the flowers in bloom and the energy shifting and people going out and playing and, hearing the laughter and all of that. It brings out the fairy energy to be shared with us. So that's what we're going to playing with tonight. I guess they want to help get messages to us, which I really love. It's a great time for that. It's always this sparkly energy as it comes in. They're also very precise. So often their messages are very straightforward. They don't need a lot of words to get things out to us for our understanding, which is great. So welcome, and let's get ourselves ready for our meditation. So you just want to get yourself nice and comfortable. You want to have your arms and your legs uncrossed. If you do sit cross-legged on the floor, just have one leg on top of the other rather than intertwined, because we want to make sure the energy flows through your body and doesn't get stuck anywhere, because that can be a little uncomfortable. So get yourself nice and comfy. Connect with whatever is supporting you, whether that's the floor, whether it's a chair, or a bed or something. Just really allow yourself to connect to whatever is holding you in this moment. And so I'm going to invite you to just begin to relax and close your eyes and start taking some nice, deep, conscious breaths, allowing the divine air to fill in your lungs with your breath in, and just releasing any stress or tension when you breathe out. And as we do that, we're going to just allow our muscles to relax. Let any of the tightness, the tension, the stress just begin to roll off your shoulders, allowing your shoulders to drop, your neck to relax, the muscles in your jaw, even around your eyes and your forehead. Just allow all those beautiful muscles that help us with our expressions, just let them relax. They no longer need to hold anything tightly for us. And letting our upper back and our middle back be supported, our lower back, our hips and our sits bones are muscles in our belly, just allowing those to relax, letting the sense of protection around your belly, just letting that dissolve. Releasing any tightness in your buttocks or your hips, your thighs, your hamstrings. Through your knees, your calves, through your feet and your toes and your ankles. And stretch and move if you need to just allow a little more space for them to relax. Also let your arms relax all the way down, your forearms into your wrists and your hands. And we're going to start by inviting in our spiritual teams to be present with us this evening or whenever you may be watching. And we ask that the divine energy surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light, creating a sacred container for our connection to all the levels of our soul in each and every dimension, vibration, and frequency. And then also placing a second bubble or container around the space that we're in, the room, the home, the apartment, or just envisioning a sacred bubble so that it is filled completely with the healing energy, allowing you to breathe the divine energy in and out, as well as feeling it cascading around your skin and even flowing through your body. And we're going to ask Archangel Metatron to assist us in reconnecting with our tree of life, our personal tree of life, showing us first how to connect to the trunk of our tree, beginning at the top of our head and our crown, just feeling that sensation of the trunk coming down, giving us strength and sturdy, giving us protection, wellness, relaxation. Just allowing the tree to hold us rather than having to use all those muscles, bones, ligaments, tendons, giving them all a rest in this moment. And also allowing the tree trunk to hold our chakras in this beautiful cylinder of light, helping them to become balanced, centered, and grounded in their own way. And as it moves down through the rest of our body and begins to move down our legs, just inviting the roots of our tree to not only go deep within the earth, but also to spread wide and far. As wide and far and deep as we need to feel sturdy, steady, and connected. And allowing those roots to reconnect and strengthen our connection with Grandmother Earth, the Divine Feminine, and Gaia beneath our feet, beneath the layers of the earth, connecting to that beautiful, grounded Earth Star chakra, our direct conduit with the Divine Feminine and the Earth energy. The crown beneath our feet. And allow her energy to flow up to you and through you, filling you with nurturing love and compassion. You may feel that energy begin to come in, and sometimes it feels like thick, like honey or mud. It can have a golden quality often. As it moves up and brings us the nutrients for our soul, just as she provides the nutrients for our physical body. And as her energy begins to move up, we're going to focus on our root chakra, the one at the base of our tailbone, that we may also experience in connection with our knees and our feet. And often this energy is sensed as red, and welcoming in the brightest vibration of red we are able to connect with, restoring balance and serenity, safety and security. As the healing energy pulses through our beautiful foundation, through our family of origin, through all of our survival needs, our home, our finances, our job, and our health and well-being. And moving gently upward into our sacral chakra just beneath the belly button, bringing in the brightest orange, that beautiful, vibrant Crayola orange, welcoming in that juicy energy of creation, fueled by all of the emotions we experience that ebb and flow throughout our life experiences. Bringing any of that energy back into flow if it's been a little stagnant or stuck. And opening up all the ways we connect to our creative being. Allowing that creation energy to flow through all parts of ourselves. Connecting with our ideas, our thoughts, our beliefs, our wishes, our dreams, and our desires. Connecting to the magic of our inner child. And bringing our energy up into the solar plexus just beneath the rib cage. And many experience this as a bright yellow, sometimes with white or with gold. Breaking apart any energy that is blocking our sun, any clouds that are weighing our sun energy down. Anything that is compressing our joy and how to express that. Any ways we have been holding on to resentment and judgment energy, frustration, righteous anger, or any that we've absorbed from other people as well. There's a lot of this energy floating around in the world around us, dispersing any rage so that the anger and the desire and the passion can all be used how we choose to use it, rather than reacting to the world around us. And moving into our heart energy, where we combine the greens and the pinks in the swirling of unconditional love. Sensing and feeling into our physical heart and its beautiful chambers, pumping the blood and the life force energy through us to our heart chakra that is held onto all the versions of love that we've experienced, including loss of love or abandonment, hurt feelings, and deepening and brightening that energy so that it also encompasses self-love, making room for our self-love to brighten and to shine. Letting it act as a beacon in the darkness and in the night energy around us. And bringing our energy and awareness up into our throat chakra and the mixing of the different vibrations of blue that love to swirl here as we uniquely express and communicate who we are and who we are meant to be. Releasing any harshness out of our words so that our words become beacons of truth and honesty, held in our center, held in our integrity, released from the energy of words being weapons, instead being truth seekers, restoring the value of authenticity in ourselves, in the world that we see and experience around us. Welcoming that healing energy as it moves outward like a beautiful ripple through the realm of humanity. And focusing on our third eye in the center of our forehead, bringing in the deep blues, the purples, and the whites as they gather not only all the knowledge that we bring in from our senses, but also our intuitive knowing, our signals and signs and messages from our spiritual teams, balancing our perception so that we use our logic and our intuition in synchronicity. And welcoming in the connection to our teams to strengthen, to broaden so that our inner knowing lands in our awareness more quickly and more easily. Reconnecting and expanding our crown chakra energy, allowing the beautiful crystal lotus above our head, the petals to gently open, just a little bit more in bloom. Each petal connecting to a different divine energy, frequency, and vibration. Knowing that as we allow ourselves to be open to that, then we receive that as well. Filled in a heart with gratitude. Welcoming our crown as it connects with the divine above, connecting to our soul star chakra, as it connects with our higher self, oneness, consciousness, and all that is. Reestablishing that connection, strengthening it, so that it floods down through our tree of life, through our roots and into the earth and back up again. Allowing the branches of our tree of life to stretch and expand so that we reach out in more possibilities, more frequencies. Allowing ourselves to bloom just as the lotus blooms through our crown. And at the crown, letting that radiate through all aspects of our energy field, through the layers of our aura, our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, our spiritual body, our connection to all of our past lives, our karma, our connection to the energy of ascension and the masters who guide us in that journey, whether we are aware of that or not. All the way out to that reconnection with all that is, which includes us and is us in the same moment. Welcoming in any messages and words of guidance for us to be open to receiving this evening. In the silence, in the cards, in our dreams, in our writing, in the music that we hear on the radio, in the patterns we may see, the pennies from heaven, the white feathers from the angels, showing us we are following the right path, or those from the animal kingdom and the elementals. Gathering it all into our awareness, all into our true sense of being. Sending healing out across the planet to those who are praying for help, assistance, anyone who is trying to release their fears, building their strength and their resilience, lending a helping hand to those who need it. and sending out a beacon of awareness, of conscious thought to disrupt the fear and reaction energy that has been gathering in the world around us. Just gently sending the intention that people can move into their heart, to their soul, and to find peace. And taking a couple of deep breaths, we're just going to bring our attention, our focus, and our awareness back into our physical body, into the space that we're inhabiting, into the room. Notice the smells, the sounds, how your clothes feel on your body. Feel your hands as they rub together, or your feet on the floor. You might want to stretch or yawn as a lot of energy was moving. We don't want it to get stuck anywhere. And just bring your focus and your awareness back into the room, to your body. And when you're ready, open your eyes and join us as we continue on our journey here. Welcome back, everybody. As the message says, tonight's deck is going to be the Magical Messages from the Fairies. These are a set of 44 Oracle cards, and they're by Doreen Virtue. And if you would like a message, all you have to do is type in yes, please. I would pull a card for everybody who asks. And yeah, that's where we're going. And then just a little, for those of you who also tune in to Wisdom of the Ancients, that will be released at 8:30 tonight. So check that out. There were some really wonderful messages that came through for that. And maybe something that speaks to you. Who knows? All right, Rob. I'm glad you enjoyed the meditation, Deanna. All right. Yes, card. So your card, my dear, is assertiveness. Look at that beam of light coming out from the heart space. So this says, stand up for your beliefs and only say yes if you really want to. And isn't that a difficult thing sometimes for us? People ask and our knee-jerk reaction is to say yes before we have a moment to think it through. And so when we're assertive, it's being able to say not only yes when we mean to, but no when we mean to. And let me think about it. I'm not sure. And be in our truth. And sometimes that can be difficult with certain people. We usually have no difficulty. There's certain people that we have no problem with. But people who we've known longer, or who who are able to shift us into guilt mode. Sometimes we say yes, and then we go into this resentment. So what it's inviting you to look at is that any places where you've been feeling resentment around people asking you to do things, or wanting you to be something that you're not, or talking about things around you that you don't want to talk about. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to remove yourself from the situation. And when we're empathic, sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, but it's also the most courageous thing to do, because it's protecting our energy. It's shielding our energy from the layers of negativity that can be around us, and from, our big open hearts are like, oh, of course I want to help you. But then the reality sets in of like, okay, but then I got to rearrange my schedule and I got to do this. Like, we want to give authentically and we want to receive authentically. So sometimes we have to be a little assertive about making sure that we know we're doing just that. And so have a little bit of extra energy around your boundaries. And yeah, speak your truth. That's the last piece. Speak your truth, because that they may not want to hear it, but they will receive it. All right, Deanna, have a great night. All right. Hi, Kevin. Aw. So your card is Connect with Nature. You're rejuvenated and inspired by spending time outdoors. Boy, that's been a hard thing as the weather's been all over the place. But you know, there is I'm trying to remember I can't remember the name of the teacher, the spiritual teacher who talks about this, but so I apologize. But there's this thought of spending 20 minutes in sunshine or 20 minutes outdoors every day. And even if that's being in your car and rolling down your window and allowing yourself to get some fresh air, it's the movement of the air around us helps move energy out of our aura and out of our being. And the more we can be on the land, then the land does earthing or grounding, and it also pulls off of us and composts the energy that doesn't serve us anymore. So it's reminding you to make sure that you're connecting with nature enough, and give yourself permission to spend a certain amount of time outdoors every day. And, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate, like, going for a hike or whatever, but that's fantastic too. But it's just a matter of, we're like plants. We need some of that sun. We need some water. We need some nutrients. And at this point in the year when we've been inside hibernating, we're really vitamin D depleted. So the best thing to do is get yourself outdoors in any way that is fun for you, whether it's going, out into the woods, or it's going to the water of some sort, the ocean or a lake, um, or just like I said, sitting in your car, roll down the windows and just let some fresh air come through, so that you can just feel the movement. Movement helps our energy not get stagnant, so we don't feel stuck, so we don't feel um, like things are just too slow right now, or everything feels sluggish or lethargic. Or if you're experiencing that at all inside your body, it's because, you know, we need to get back in the flow. And nature is one of the best ways for us to do that. Might also mean bringing in like a new plant into your home, or maybe some fresh cut flowers that reconnect you with nature. That is a great way to bring in some self love as well. So work on that, dear. And I can't wait to see what that looks like for you. Jackie, hello. Nice to have you, dear. Another nice one. Ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. Told you this deck could be a little straightforward. And part of the difficulty we have about asking for what we need and what we want is that we have this separation, like that we can only ask for our needs and we shouldn't ask for our wants, because that's a big ask. But guess what? They're all the same. to the universe, whether you ask for extra sleep in the morning, or you ask for $1 million, or if you ask for a sunny day for a wedding, um, they're the same energetically, believe it or not. They have each have their own frequency, but the ask is the same. There's no judgment of that from the divine energy. So learning how to speak it with your spiritual team lets you find the courage to speak that with the people around you. And guess what? Even when you're psychic, you might not have ESP, and hopefully you're not reading other people's minds. I certainly wouldn't want to be in somebody's brain and hearing all their crazy thoughts. So I don't know what you're thinking, right? So unless you communicate clearly with me what you want or what you need, I can't help you with that. And then, from the person who's wanting, we get resentful that people don't know what we want. They should know what we want. And guess what? They don't. They're not a mind reader. And communication is a skill that is so lacking around us because we've been taught to say what we think other people want to hear so often that we don't just speak our truth. And sometimes our truth is, I don't want to do that. I'm tired and cranky. I need a nap. And even if that's going to let somebody else down, it's not our job to worry about how somebody else is going to feel about what we ask for. But they can't even remotely help us or assist us or even just hold space for us, for what we want or what we need, without letting them know. And sometimes that's brings in our trust issues a little bit. And so start with people that you do feel open, you do trust, and start with them and practice till it gets easier to do with people that are a little more difficult. Like our boss or something. Sometimes it's hard to ask for a raise, or it's hard to ask for time off. But if we don't want to get to that breaking point, because then when we're at that breaking point, we've held on to all of that energy and all that anxiety and worry that, we blast somebody out of nowhere and they have no idea where it came from because they haven't been in your head. So use your voice, use your communication, be assertive, as the other card said, and just ask for what you want. Worst case scenario, they'll say no, but the universe won't say no. The universe always says yes. So let that come in as your possibility. Thank you, Jackie. Have a great night. You're very welcome, Kevin. So nice to have you. Julie. Nice. Ooh, this looks fun. So this is a business venture. Trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. This has me curious. There are all these little gnomes, who are like holding on to all this gold that's shining. So what I'm getting for you is that you know what I'm talking about, first of all. But sometimes we get in our head and we don't trust ourselves. And so we can think of 4 million reasons why not to do something. That's how we're programmed. But can you listen to your heart and say, how can I? How can I do this? Show me how to do this. Okay, heart, show me how to do this. Show me how to step into this new opportunity. Show me how to have the strength and the courage to make a change right now. That feels so aligned with what you're supposed to do on the next step of your journey. And sometimes it's difficult for us to step out into a new opportunity because we get comfortable with where we are. Even if we're uncomfortable with where we are, at least we know the discomfort that's there. And whatever we do next, we don't know. And so we can make this whole boogie monster out of what could possibly go wrong or that type of thing. So find the way to bring your thoughts, bring your energy, bring everything into your heart. Let your heart guide you. Let your heart show you the next step. And it feels absolutely magical. Like everything's falling together, like easily, seamlessly. Because and there's like piles of gold everywhere on the card. So it's like it's gonna be fine financially too. Um, so all it takes is some strength and courage on your end and trust in the divine, trust in your heart, your soul to guide you. Because guess what? It's nudging you and it has been nudging you, and it's time. Woohoo! So go have some fun and say yes. Love it. Hi, Jocelyn. Nice to have you. All right, let's see what we got here. This is an interesting one because I don't believe that's true for you. So this is the daughter card. And it says the answer to your question involves your daughter. Now, sometimes it's not an actual daughter. It can sometimes be our inner child, and that's more what I'm feeling for you. So imagine that your inner child, you're now the parent. You're the parent now of your own child. And if there is a daughter that I'm unaware of, then it relates to both, right? Because lots of times our inner child and any child that we are connected with, they will mirror each other. So it's like an opportunity to heal and to grow and to nurture yourself through this other. And so what I'm sensing is that if you haven't done any inner child work where you've journeyed back um, and connected with your inner child and given her reassurance and showed her how to feel safe in this world, and that she doesn't have to hold on to all of the old emotions and trauma and experiences that she had when she was young, that we can wave a magic wand for her and we can send that, all of those things, I'm seeing them placed on a wooden raft on the water, and they're just floating away. So they exist, and it was true. It was her experience, but she doesn't have to keep living in that energy. And so maybe invite some inner child time to come in. And again, if there is a young girl in your life that they don't have to be your daughter. I was a dance teacher, so I had a lot of daughters sometimes, because they sometimes feel like your kids. So there may be one of them that is reflecting back something in you that is so ready to heal, and it's time. It doesn't have to be raw and open and all consuming anymore. It wants resolution. It wants to have some play and some joy again. And joy, that's the big one. It's time for you to have some joy again. I love that for you, sweetheart. Let me know if I can help at all. Have a great night. Bernadette, like the new picture. Oh, thank you so much. I enjoy them. What star seeds are trying to connect with me? So your card has to do more with, I'm using the fairy deck. So let's just see what comes through. So what it says is admit your true feelings to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Only know what is that true you truly desire. Only know what it is you truly desire. So, you know, there's many different philosophies around star beings, that we all carry that dust of creation through our DNA, through our experiences, where we're connected to all that. And um, I am not somebody who differentiates very well between those, because I read vibration. So it's like I can say, oh, you have this connection to this, energy that is like blue and purple swirled together, and but I can't be specific. Um and but I can say that we all have star beings that are part of our spiritual group. And what that means is that for our planet to go through the ascension and go through the energy of moving dimensionally, we need assistance from those who've been there, done that. And so there are many star beings who have helped the earth plane for a long, long time. And so generally, um, the star beings come in and work with us when we are doing healing work specifically, or like channeling messages that are going to be healing for other people to hear. Um, and it doesn't mean that they're not with you at all times, because they are, but it's like they sort of stand back, and when it's one of those things that we need assistance in stepping up in our soul's evolution, that they might give us some wisdom and that vibration. So I don't have an exact answer, and in terms of who, because I really even have trouble telling different ascended masters from each other, because their frequencies can be really, really close. Um, but I can say that we all have star energy in our bodies. Um, and because we are part of all that is, we are star beings as well. So, for someone who's on another planet, in another galaxy, in another universe, we're a star being for them as well. So, the divine always catches me up on on those words. Um, so we are all of those things. We are our human self. We are our soul. We are a version of the ascended masters. We are a version of angels. We are a version of the star beings. We're a version of the animal kingdom, right? So um, you have been, you will be, you are um, connected to the star realms. If you want a more solid, yes, everybody has star being guides. We all do. Um, so if you want to explore that more, one of the ways I've found for people to really resonate with that is to like search through like the galaxy photos that we've been getting, or through some of the planets, or through the names of different ones, to see which one you feel it in your heart or in your belly. And you may have been more than one. So, depending on how you feel about star beings, like I know I've been in Lemurian times and Atlantean times, um, and I work with higher dimensional beings quite frequently when I'm doing my healing work. So I might work with an 11th dimensional Lemurian when I'm doing work with people on cancer, for instance. She comes in and is there and is like my supervisor. um, so when we need them, they're here. And you can call on them, but use pictures and things like that to see what calls to you, because lots of times that there is a star or just like there are places on the earth that call to us and they feel like home, even if we haven't ever been there before. And when you go there, you're like, oh, this feels like home. And you know you've been here before. So that's generally the best way to find that out. But yeah, I'm not really good with specifics on the names or where they're from. So there you go. I hope that helps. You're welcome, sweetie. I just see them as color, so it's so hard. Hi, Julie. Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed your reading. That's perfect. All right, Rob, are we rounding ourselves out? Ah, Crystal, nice.
No, just working the controls.
Okay. Oh, Crystal, I love this. I haven't seen you in a while. That's great. So your card is a new home. Moving is a step in the right direction for you. Boy, she looks really happy and comfortable in all that blue. So yeah, I don't know if you are moving or you're thinking about moving. But even if it's simply creating your home newly, because if we move our furniture, if we change our if we paint and do things, like, it creates a whole new energy and it feels like a brand new home. And so I'm not sure if you're actually moving or if you're moving things around, but movement is what's key here. Like, you've outgrown what you've been in. And so it's time for an upgrade. It's time for a little more ease, maybe a little more luxury. The blues are just jumping. The blues and the there's like a little bit of pink in there. It's almost the color, of my shirt. They're jumping out at me as important, which can be just, your throat, using your throat to really express what you want, what you need, and creating what you desire to live in, you know, because we can paint and we can rearrange furniture and we can claim space as our own. And if you are moving, just remember to do things like sage before you go in to the new space to clear anybody's energy out of it. And you can use crystals that you charge in the moonlight so that they amplify and raise the vibration. It's always lovely to put selenite over your doorways because that invites your energy to clear as you walk from one room to another. And I'm also sensing lightning and brightening. So, think about the color palettes that you might use. And even if you're in a space where you can't paint, the artwork you choose, the color of the sheets on your bed, they all hold that yummy vibration. So make sure they speak to your soul and that you love them. This is not a time for making do. How's that? Surround yourself with things that you love in a place that you love. And it just feels like a whole brand new day. And so, if you were thinking about moving or changing or switching jobs or anything, like, it's time. for it. We're in that new moon, we're in the new moon energy right now still. And so we have all these awesome possibilities that are on the horizon. And so snatch it while you can. Thanks for joining us, Crystal. It's nice to have you back. You are welcome, Bernadette. Thank you. I do sometimes. In terms of, I like to work with them as I help them cross over. I'm not a big communicator. I have a few friends who that's their thing. They like that. But I'm more of the help them cross over kind of. Or yeah, I'm more of a spirit doula than I am a medium or a communicator with the dead. They will come give me messages from like family or whatever if they're needed or warranted. But yeah, that's my thing. Oh, hi, Stacy. Nice to have you. Of course. Ooh, isn't she pretty? Goodbye to the old. Hello to the new. You finished one part of your life, and now a new, even better part is beginning. I love it. I think you had something kind of like that last time, like time to like step into the new. So I'm not sure what that looks like for you, but it feels like some of the struggle that you've had to go through, or the people around you that have gone through, that part is releasing. We don't have to suffer in our lifetimes. We are meant to be here to experience the exquisiteness of being human. Doesn't mean it's going to all be perfect or there will be pain, but we choose suffering rather than allowing ourselves to feel deeply in and through the pain. Sometimes we let that pain linger. That's what often the Buddhists think of as suffering, right? It's like when we get caught in our head and our thoughts, we were creating suffering because we're not just experiencing ourselves in the moment. So what I'm sensing for you as part of this whole transition is that you're learning how to be more present, more grounded, more energetically available in the moment, and less need to leave, less need to escape. And the beauty of being like in the juiciness of the flowers as they're blooming, or the sky getting brighter, or the sun coming out, and how that all of the ways that the earth is sort of waking up and blooming right now, it's like you're matching that in your own way. I'm seeing like a fairy coming out of a flower blooming and the fairy coming out. And the fairy is like a version of you. So see what's ready to bloom because, yeah, there's a part of you that's ready to bloom. Maybe it's pursuing your gifts a little bit more. Sometimes we get really into our practical self, and we don't let that shine through as much as we'd like. So yeah, let the new Stacy out, and I can't wait to see what she does next. Love that. Oh my goodness. Allie, I got to get you my phone number. Yes, you can have a card, my dear. So here we go. Holiday. You and I had this conversation about holidays at one point. Where you needed a vacation and you just couldn't find time, and then I think you ended up in the hospital with kidney stones. I think that was so you got your vacation, just not the way you wanted. So here she is frolicking in the water and having a great time. The answer you're looking for can be found during a vacation, retreat, or a holiday getaway. Nice. Um, so you need a break. You need a break from reality, sweetheart. Um, and I know we can all go, don't we all? But y- you have you have a need to get back to the fun Ellie who knew how to play and just frolic in nature, and just loves life, right? And I know that, boy, it's always difficult when we go through periods of deep change. And I know you've experienced that recently. And I went through that, so I feel you, girl. Um, and as our kids grow up, our relationship change was with them, and so we also lose our identity as mom sometimes. And when we lose that identity as mom, it's like, who the heck am I? I've been mom for a while. When we've been a mom or a wife or whatever for a while, like, that becomes who we are. And then we get to this place where we need to find ourselves again. We need to reconnect with who we are, so um yeah, you need a vacation of some sort, um or a getaway. Maybe you're supposed to come visit me up in Maine. Or maybe go to like a spiritual retreat. I do those every few weeks, in Massachusetts. So any of those might appeal to you, but you need a break. You've had a lot of adulting to do, and it's exhausting. It's hard on our physical body, it's hard on our mental health, and you deserve to let all that go, because inside you are just such a joyous being. And I want to hear your laughter again, because it's one of my favorite things. So I hope your phone number is the same, because I will give you a call. Um, but if you're on social media, if you're on Facebook, you can message me. You can get me that way as well, but I'll try to get a hold of you. All right. Uh, I'm so glad you're here, and I love the picture of your doggies. It's beautiful. Oh, you're welcome, Stacy. I'm glad the timing was good. It's always nice when it syncs up with right when we need it. All right, Rob, let's finish us off. So your card is Let Go. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. One of the things that often you see spiritual teachers say is, like, if you put a pen in your hand and you hold it, and it's like when you're holding on to something, you can't also pick something up with that hand because it's full and it's occupied. So you have to let go of what you're holding on to grab onto something new. And our need to control comes from, we all have it. It comes from our trauma. It comes from things when we were kids that we weren't in control of, or things in our adult life that we weren't in control of. And often when we did try to control things, we might have done it through coping mechanisms that weren't necessarily healthy for us. And so surrendering can be a fear inducing thing, because we can think like, oh, we're giving up, or what if, my old coping mechanisms come in? I don't want that. That hasn't worked for me so far. Um, but but the real energy is that stop holding on to things that you don't want to hold on to. You know, if you have a job you don't like, release it. Start putting the energy out there. Put resumes out there. Because the universe is always ready to provide us with an upgrade. Like, okay, I've done this and I deserve better. So show me better. And we can only do that when we're willing to let it go. And sometimes just the act of, doing that, I'm just seeing the job right at the moment. I know there are other things that are attached to it, but like with the job, put resumes out there, do some of that kind of work. That's just putting your intention with the universe that you do not want to stay in this job, um, or in this type of work environment. It's a relatively hostile work environment, and you deserve better than that. So sometimes just putting the energy out there changes the environment all on its own so that you don't even actually have to go anywhere, because everything around you starts to change. Um, or the next best thing comes in, and you look at it and you grab it and go, oh, it's time. It's time for me to grab that new thing or grab onto that dream and allow myself to really trust the universe that this will happen. Um, and that's one of the keys to a lot of the messages tonight, right? Is trust. Trust yourself, trust the divine. Know that you're being guided. You're being, any hesitation we have is all internal because the universe around us is just saying yes. You know, I want something better. Yes. What does that look like? Yes. Dream it up. Yes. Okay. So with that, you guys, head on over to Wisdom of the Ancients if you would like. That'll be starting at 8:30. The broadcast will land. It is recorded, and there's some really cool messages there. And if you want to reach me, you can reach me through the Trinity Temple of Sacred Wisdom on our Facebook page. You can click there, follow us, follow our YouTube channel, and like the Facebook group Soul Connections. And you can always send me a message that way, or send me an email if you go to Trinity Temple, Trinity Sacred Temple. .com. You'll find, uh, an email, or I don't remember what the word's called, but there's a button to push where you can reach out, and I'll be happy to get back to you. So I look forward to seeing you guys all next week. Enjoy our beautiful new month of April and all that is unfolding for us. And with that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and bye for now.